The NBA has seen countless amazing seasons from players from all ages. So, in today's video, we are going to go over the best season from every single age. This will be a two-part series. For this part, we're going to do ages 18 to 29, and then in the next part, we're going to do ages 30 all the way up to 43. So, let's get into it because it might be a long one. Starting with the best age 18 season, there's honestly not a lot to choose from here, as only 7 players have played 30 or more games in their age 18 season. Of those 7 players, only 3 of them have played 60 or more games, 2 of them being Hall of Famers, and the other being Bill Willoughby. Who? Okay, I know this is a video strictly based off the season that was played at that age, but if I put Bill Willoughby ahead of Kobe or T-Mac, I'd be thrown in jail. So we're not even going to talk about him. So then here we have it. We have Tracy McGrady versus Kobe Bryant. Who had the better age 18 season? Well, from a basic statistical standpoint, T-Mac killed Kobe. Then when you move to an advanced statistical outlook, you see that T-Mac still leads Kobe in win shares per 48, in VORP, and in PER. So overall, T-Mac has the better statistical season, so then Tracy McGrady is the obvious answer. Well, it's not that simple. Because Kobe's Lakers were amazing, and T-Mac's Raptors were tragically bad. The Lakers went 56-26, while the Raptors went 15-67 in those respective seasons. To me, that doesn't really matter, because Kobe's season is only defined by his team success, and I don't think that's something to knock T-Mac on when Kobe didn't really contribute to that team success. It's also important to mention that Kobe doesn't have a great playoffs in 1997. That's why I have to say Tracy McGrady is the best 18-year-old, because he has the better statistical season than Kobe, and I can't just value team success. That's not the only thing that matters. So I'm going to go with the best age 18 season belongs to Tracy McGrady's 1998. When we move on to the best age 19 season, there's a lot more to choose from, so we have to narrow it down. In the NBA's history of age 19 seasons, there's only been 3 players to have a season averaging over 18 points and a box plus minus over 0. Those guys are Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Carmelo Anthony. So let's compare those 3 guys. Starting with basic statistics. Luka has the advantage here, as he leads in 5 out of the 8 categories, while Melo is second in 6 of 8. And then when we move to the advanced analytics, Luka kills LeBron and Melo. This is where LeBron catches Melo, as he's second in 3 of 5 categories. But that doesn't really matter, because Luka clearly crushes them both in a statistical outlook. And then when you move to team success, Melo's Nuggets have the best record. But here's the thing, and why that clearly doesn't matter, because the voters for Rookie of the Year didn't care about it when it was Melo versus LeBron. So now when you have a better season by Luka than what LeBron put up, it's obvious that Luka had the best age 19 season. So that means Luka's 2019 is the best age 19 season in the NBA's history. Moving on to the best age 20 season. There's a lot of amazing seasons here, but in my opinion, the 4 best seasons from a 20-year-old are Luka Doncic, LeBron James, Shaquille O'Neal, and Magic Johnson. There's other guys who had incredible seasons like Kevin Durant, Zion, Wemby, and Anthony Davis, but the problem is their team success really holds them back in this argument. So then when you look at the basic statistics between LeBron, Luka, Magic, and Shaq, you see that LeBron and Luka have very similar seasons. While Shaq's averaging 23 and 14, and Magic is having a good all-around season. And when you look at Magic's numbers, they might not jump off the page, but you also have to account for the era back then, just less possessions per game. Then when you move on to the advanced analytics, Shaq clearly is the worst here, as he ranks 3rd or lower in all 5 categories. Magic, Luka, and LeBron all have first place finishes in 2 of the 5 categories. So then essentially the argument boils down to this. Do you prefer LeBron and Luka's statistical dominance, or do you prefer Magic's team success? Here's the thing about Magic's team success. They win the championship in his age 20 season, And the most important thing I have left out is that Magic wins Finals MVP. So let's say you prefer statistical dominance, and that argument is between Luka and LeBron. And I have to lean Luka as the better season because, first off, the numbers are eerily similar. Second off, Luka's team makes the playoffs, and when Luka plays in the playoffs, he goes crazy.
Finney-Smith to inbound. Back to Doncic. Doncic pulls up, three-pointer. Bang! Bang!
He averages a nearly 31-point triple-double in the 6 playoff games with 60% true shooting. So who had the better age 20 season between Magic and Luka? For me, I would have to say Magic because he wins the championship and he's the Finals MVP. And when you adjust for possessions, Magic Johnson has roughly the same statistics as Luka does. So that means the best age 20 season goes to 1980 Magic Johnson. When we move on to the best age 21 season, it really boils down to 2 guys, Shaq and LeBron James. When you look at the basic statistics, you see that both guys had incredible seasons. While LeBron is essentially averaging a 31-7-7, while Shaq is averaging 29-13 with nearly 3 blocks. Even when you will look at the advanced metrics, it doesn't even paint a clear picture. Shaq slightly edges out LeBron in 3 of 5 categories. If their basic and advanced statistics are close, what about accolades? Well, they're both the MVP runner-up in their respective season, so that doesn't help. Okay, what about team success? Well, they both win 50 games. So how are we going to determine who had the better season? Well, let's look at the playoffs. LeBron makes the second round. Yes, he loses in Game 7, but Shaq gets swept in the first round. And honestly, if it wasn't for Game 2 of Magic vs. Pacers in 1994, maybe Shaq could have an argument here. So what happens in Game 2 of the first round for Shaq? Well, Game 1, the Magic lose by 1 point, and Shaq has a pretty good game where he puts up 24 points and 19 rebounds in a 1-point loss. In Game 2, though, the Magic need a win, and Shaq laid an absolute egg, as he only scored 15 points and had 7 boards in a 2-point loss. As for LeBron in 05, he scored at least 20 in every single playoff game. So I have to go as the best age 21 season, 2005 LeBron James. Alright, for the best age 22 season, we have our first 2 MVPs, Wes Unseld and Derrick Rose. But I'm not going to talk about Wes Unseld because his season's boring. He doesn't have an actual great statistical season. He just kind of turned around the Bullets back then. So I'm going to leave him to the side. He doesn't really matter. I think the 4 best age 22 seasons are from Kareem, Shaq, Duncan, and Rose. And when you look at the basic statistics, you don't really see Rose's numbers jump off the page. You kind of see Kareem's and Shaq's really jump out at you. And then when you look at the advanced analytics, yes, again, Kareem doesn't have all the advanced analytics, but you see Shaq kind of dominate here. But from an accomplishment standpoint, you gotta value Derrick Rose's MVP and Tim Duncan's Finals MVP. Which one you value more depends on who you are. I think I personally value the Finals MVP over the MVP, but that's just me. For me, the best age 22 season comes down to Shaq and Duncan. Shaq has the better statistical season, but Duncan has the more accomplishments and team success because he wins the Finals MVP. But I think I'm going to take Shaq. In 1995, Shaq leads the Magic to the Finals. And yes, Duncan does win the Finals in his age 22 season. But Shaq beats him statistically, and he also made the Finals. So I'm just going to have to go as the best age 22 season, 1995 Shaquille O'Neal. Moving on to age 23, this one's pretty simple when you realize Kareem wins the Finals MVP and the MVP in his age 23 season. He's also incredible statistically, and no one compares to that type of accolades in their age 23 season. So, I'm not going to make this longer than I have to. The best age 23 season has to go to 1971 Kareem. So now that we're moving on to the best age 24 season, it's really between 3 guys, Michael Jordan, LeBron, and Kareem. And this is actually a fun debate because these are probably the consensus top 3 guys in the NBA. So for a specific season where they were at their best and their age 24 season, it's fun to talk about where they were at then. When you look at their accolades, they all won the MVP. And Michael Jordan won Defensive Player of the Year in his age 24 season. And Kareem didn't have a Defensive Player of the Year award to win because it didn't exist back then. And for LeBron, he finished as the runner-up in the Defensive Player of the Year. And everyone knows that Marc Gasol, there's no reason why he should have won Defensive Player of the Year. And then when you look at the team success, you have to give the edge to Kareem and LeBron, as both their Bucks and Cavaliers won over 65 games, while Jordan's Bulls only won 50. When you dive into the basic statistics, really Kareem and Michael Jordan's 35 points per game really jumps out, and Jordan's 3 steals per game, while Kareem's 17 boards really does stand out. And then when you look at the advanced metrics, you really see Michael Jordan pull away. Yes, Kareem doesn't have all the advanced metrics as LeBron and Jordan, but you really do see the pull away happen. I really don't think the team success really matters that much in this argument. Michael Jordan did something that's never happened before up to that point, winning the MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. Yes, maybe Kareem could have done that. It wasn't a thing. And LeBron, he might have got scammed out of it. But actually look at it, the better statistical season was from Michael Jordan. And he did something that no one in the NBA has ever done up to that point. You have to pick the best age 24 season as Michael Jordan's 1998 season. Moving on to the best age 25 season, we have a debate between 4 of our current day stars: LeBron, Jokic, Giannis, and Kevin Durant. All 4 of these guys were the MVP in their age 25 season, while Giannis also won the Defensive Player of the Year, being the 3rd player in league history to do that up to this point. So then the question has to become, can the other guys overcome that accomplishment that Giannis had with the Defensive Player of the Year and the MVP with statistics and team success? So let's look at the basic statistics. No one really separates themselves from each other. So then when you move on to the advanced analytics, you see Jokic slightly pull away, as he is the best in win shares per 48 and true shooting percentage, while also placing 2nd in both defensive box plus minus and PER. Here's the other thing that's very important to this debate. We all remember the 2020 playoff collapse from Giannis against the Heat, and that's this season. But here's the other problem for the other guys. They don't really have any major playoff success either, as Kevin Durant is the only guy to make the conference final of any of these 4 guys that year. Well, yes, Giannis probably does have the worst playoff exit of these 4 guys. I really think he still deserves it because he does win MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. And up to that playoff meltdown, he was having an historic season, while the other guys had pretty good seasons, but they weren't their best seasons. So the best age 25 season has to go to 2020 Giannis. Moving on to the best age 26 season, we have a debate between 3 guys who are most likely in most people's top 10 lists: Tim Duncan, Steph Curry, and Bill Russell. Diving into the basic statistics, Curry's 24-8 on 44% from 3 really stands out, while so does Duncan's 23-13 with 3 blocks, and Bill is doing his classic high teens and 1 billion rebounds. When you move over to the advanced analytics, though, it's pretty clear to determine that Curry and Duncan are the top dogs here. So yes, Tim Duncan does have the Finals MVP over Curry, because Curry loses the Finals MVP in 2015 to, we all know who.
Iggy or Curry?
Of everyone on Golden State, open shot, fate of the universe on the line, or the Martians have the death beam pointed at Earth, you better hit it. I want Iguodala.
The other important argument for Duncan is his defensive impact that Curry just doesn't have. But for me, I don't think that really matters, because I'm going to choose Steph Curry because of the way he changed basketball this year. 2015 Steph Curry was the catalyst to what we're seeing nowadays, where we see all these 3-pointers. He was the one who changed the game. Yes, the Rockets with James Harden shot more 3s than the 2015 Warriors, but Steph Curry proved to the league that shooting a lot of 3s can still win a championship. Even though I don't think this is the best Steph Curry season, I'm still going to pick as the best age 26 season Steph Curry's 2015. The best age 27 season is probably the most fun debate of all of them. In the history of the NBA, there's been 10 league MVPs at the age of 27, while there's been 11 finals MVPs at the age of 27. And of those guys, 6 of them have been MVPs and finals MVPs at the age of 27. Those guys are Bird, Shaq, Jordan, LeBron, Magic, and Moses Malone. The crazy thing is, in this debate, I'm not even going to mention Steph Curry's 2016 because we all know what happens in 2016.
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection.
So let's look at the basic stats between the guys who won the MVP and Finals MVP. And when you look at the basic stats, there isn't that much of a separation. There isn't anything crazy. It's just the best players we've ever seen in basketball doing their thing. Age 27 is the prime of your career, so this makes sense. But here's the thing. The thing that doesn't make sense is Michael Jordan's advanced analytics. He completely separates himself from everyone else. He ranks first in 5 different advanced statistics. It's insane. I think that's enough to seal the debate. He is so good analytically. And in a list between guys who've won the MVP and Finals MVP in the same year, there's a guy who is this good analytically. It has to be the winner. So then that means the best age 27 season goes to Michael Jordan's 1991 season. For the best age 28 season, there is 11 MVPs, but there's only 2 guys who both won the MVP and the Finals MVP. And it's LeBron and Jordan. And just to add for fun, I'm going to add last season's Nikola Jokic because of how historically great he was statistically. When you look at the basic statistics, you see Jordan and Jokic flip-flop between first and third for the most part, and LeBron finished second for the most part in almost every category. When you move to the advanced analytics, you see Jordan kind of fall off between these 3 guys, as Jokic and LeBron finish first in 2 different categories each. From a statistical standpoint, you have it between Jokic and LeBron, but from an accomplishment standpoint, you have Jordan versus LeBron. So I'm going to take the guy who is at least top 2 in both categories, and I'm going to pick the best age 28 season goes to LeBron's 2013. For the best age 29 season, we only have one guy who won the MVP and the Finals MVP, and that guy was Larry Bird. And then, for argument's sake, let's add Jordan and Kobe. As this season for Jordan, it's his final season of the first three-peat era, and for Kobe, this is his only MVP year. Looking into their basic statistics, we see Jordan and Bird really pull themselves from Kobe. And then let's move to the advanced analytics. We see Jordan mostly pull himself away from Bird. I also think it's important to add both these teams win the championship, but Jordan's Bulls were slightly worse than Bird's Celtics, as the Celtics won 10 more games than the Bulls, and Jordan ends up finishing second in MVP voting. So that's the thing. For the best age 29 season, we kind of have to value everything together. The team success, the statistics, the accomplishments. And in Bird's age 29 season, he beats Jordan in his age 29 season in the team success and the accomplishment. Yes, Jordan statistically is slightly better, but I don't think that's enough to take away from what Larry Bird did. So I think the best age 29 season is Larry Bird's 1986, and this is the final season of his 3 straight MVPs. Alright guys, that's it for part 1. And if you liked the video, please like and subscribe and comment what you think of the list so far. Part 2 will be out in the next week or 2. And I really hope you guys stay tuned for that and check that out. And I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.